welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making the wide leg pants from Peekaboo Patterns. I'll be making the adult version, but the pants come in both youth sizes and adult sizes. The first step in the pattern is to take your back pocket pieces, and if you want, you can do some embroidery or stitching to decorate the back pocket. I'm going to skip that step today. So the next step is to turn your pockets over, and you're going to press with an iron down a ½ inch once, and then you're going to do it again twice, and then you're going to top stitch along the lower portion of the top stitching. So just to make sure this doesn't fray, we're going to press ½ inch, another ½ inch, and then top stitch. So I decided to top stitch 2 lines just for decorative purposes. So I top stitched at 3/8 of an inch from the top, and I also top stitched at 1/4 inch from the top. And now we need to press the sides of the pocket, all the edges. So you need to do a ½ inch press on each side, a ½ inch press on the bottom, and a ½ inch press on each of the angles. We're gonna do that for both pockets before we attach it to the pants. So once you've pressed all the side edges of the pocket a ½ inch, you're going to grab one of your back pant pieces, and you're going to pin the pocket using the template that was on the pattern, and then you're going to top stitch along the sides and bottom edges to keep the pocket in place on the pants. So you can do that for both pockets and both back pant pieces. Okay, so I attached the back pockets to the back of the pants, and I did 2 rows of stitching just for decoration again. And I also did some tack down stitches. I like to use my back pockets, so I wanted to make sure I would still be able to use them. So next we're going to sew the back pants together. So you're going to put them right sides together, and you're going to pin or clip along the rise, the back rise, and we're going to sew this together at a ½ inch seam allowance, and then you're going to finish the edge either with a serger or a zigzag stitch to make sure the woven fabric doesn't fray. So again, you're going to sew ½ inch seam allowance and then finish the edge. Okay, so I did a ½ inch seam allowance, and then I finished my edge with my serger. I forgot to turn the camera on when I did the initial ½ inch stitch. Now we're going to open up our back pants, and we are going to top stitch this seam allowance that we just created to the left pant leg. So it's when you're wearing the pants, your left. So it's going to be this side. I might actually press this first, and then I'm going to top stitch this seam allowance to all the way down to the pants. All right, and now I've top stitched that. So now we're going to work on the front pocket assembly. Wide leg pants. So you're going to need your pocket facing pieces, and you're going to serge or zigzag stitch along the curved edge. So we're gonna do that first. Once your pocket facings are serged along the curved edge, you're gonna grab your pocket piece, and you're going to lay it so that both right sides up, the pocket piece right side up and the pocket facing right side up, and you want the curved edge to be towards the inside of the pants, and you're going to lay the pocket on top of or the pocket facing on top of the pocket, lining up this outer edge and the top edge. And you're going to pin or clip into place. And then you're going to take this to your sewing machine and you're going to top stitch along the curved edge, and you're going to baste along the top and the side. So top stitch along the curved edge and then baste along the two outer edges. And you're going to do that for both of the pocket pieces and pocket facings. So again, on this side, the curved edge is towards the inside. You're going to lay it, matching up the outside edges, and clip or pin into place. And you're going to top stitch along the curved edge and baste along the top and the side. Okay, so I sewed a top stitch along the serged edge or the curved edge, and then I basted along the outer seams, the top and the side raw edges. So now you're going to need your front pants. So here I have one, and you're going to have your pants right side up, and you're going to take a pocket with the right side down, so right sides are together, and you're going to put the pocket right sides together with the jeans or the pants, and you're going to clip along this raw curved edge over here. And you're going to sew this together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So the pocket facing is on the side that you're not sewing. This is just the pocket, and it's on the curved edge over here. So again, I'm going to grab the other front pair and take my other pocket. I'm going to lay them right sides together, and I'm going to sew this curved edge together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, once you've sewn that curved edge together, you're going to grab a pair of scissors and you're going to make little clips, little snips. Don't cut your seam allowance or your stitches, but cut into the seam allowance along the curved edge so that it opens nicely and lays flat. So just along the curve. And then you're going to take the pocket and you're going to open it so that you can see the right side of the fabric, and you're going to fold this over so that we can top stitch along this piece of the pocket here. You can press this beforehand if you want, or you can just finger press. I'm just going to finger press and flip. So then you're going to top stitch this 1/8 from the edge of the pocket, 1/8 of an inch. So you're going to take, this is the front of your pants, and this is the inside of the pocket, and you're going to top stitch with a 1/8 seam allowance along this edge, and you're going to do that for both of the front pant and pockets. All right, so you top stitch along this inner edge of the front of the pants, the front pocket, and you're going to then turn the pants over so you see your pocket lining, and you're going to fold the pocket lining in half here. And the first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna line up these notches here, and we're gonna clip along this bottom edge of the pocket, and we're gonna sew this together at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then you're gonna finish your edge. So you're either gonna finish your edge with a zigzag stitch or a serge stitch. So you're gonna do that for both pockets, and then we're gonna baste the pocket down. All right, so once you have sewn the pocket closed here, remember you're pulling that away from the pant, so it's just the pocket that's sewn. Now we need to baste the pocket to the pants. So again, these notches are lined up, and it's lined up with the raw edge of the front of your pants. You're gonna baste along this edge, and you're also gonna baste along the waistline. So if you turn it over, you see your pocket facing is here and your pocket is here. So you're gonna pin along this top edge as well, and you're gonna baste this in place. So we're gonna baste here, we're gonna baste here, and then you're also gonna sew right along this top stitching that we did, that was 1/8 of an inch away from this pocket edge here, until the marked notch, which if you don't have the marked notch, it's 4 inches down from the top. So line up my ruler, 4 inches down, you're gonna top stitch to that mark there. So baste along the waistline, follow this top stitch down 4 inches, and then baste along the side seam of the pocket here. You do that for both sides of the pants. All right, and now your pockets are attached to the front of your pant. Once you've sewn the pockets together, next we're gonna assemble the front pants, the two pieces together. So you're gonna lay the pants right sides together, the two front pieces, and we're gonna pin or clip along the fly edge. And you're gonna start sewing from the inseam, again, a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So you're gonna come around this curve. You're gonna keep going until you get to the basting line from the pattern. And then you're going to turn and come up the side. Again, all at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed 1/2 inch along this, and then you have to finish your seam, and I had some trouble with my serger. Probably should turn the blade off. So I went back and did it with a zigzag stitch, and that was a lot easier doing these curves, for me at least. So next, this basting line that we had here for the fly from the pattern, you're gonna go ahead and you're going to baste with the 2 front pieces together. You're gonna baste along this line here, and then we're gonna come back and make a snip and turn it right side out. All right, once you've basted the fly, you're going to make a snip into the seam allowance of the fly there. And then you're going to open up the pants, and you want to press the fly to the left leg. So if you're wearing the pants, that will be this side. So you're going to press that to this side. And then we're going to top stitch that in place. So we need to trace the fly template from the pattern onto the pants. So you're gonna trace your template so you know where to sew. And you're going to top stitch along this to make your faux fly. And then you're also, if you want to, optional, you can, after you top stitch once, you can top stitch again 1/4 inch from that top stitching. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark my fly. Might be hard to see. I'll use my chalk pen. Okay, so while I top stitch along the faux fly here, I'm also going to top stitch the center of the pants here. So I'm going to top stitch along the left pant leg, the same as the faux fly over here. And then I'm also going to top stitch the inseam here in your top stitching so that the seam allowance is going to that left leg again. So everything's going to the left leg. So top stitch the faux fly and the inseam. All right, once that's been top stitched, now we're gonna place the 2 pants pieces, the back and the front, right sides together, and we're going to pin the inseam together. So we're gonna sew the inseam of the pants together first. Okay, so I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew this together at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then I'm going to finish the edge. And you can top stitch this to the front of the pants if you want, but I'm not going to top stitch this. So I'm just going to do 1/2 inch seam allowance and finish my edge. Alright, so I went ahead and sewed and serged my inseam. So the next step is to prep for the hem. So you're going to take your pants and you're going to press them up a 1/2 inch from the bottom, and then you're going to fold it over again an inch. So you're going to do 1/2 inch and then an inch. Alright, once you've done the memory press for the hem, we're going to unfold that. And now we're going to close up the outside seams of the pants. So we're going to go ahead and pin the outside of both legs of the pants, and then we're going to sew those together and finish the seam with a serger or zigzag stitch. All right, now that I have sewn up the outside seam of the pants, we're going to refold the hem and we're going to top stitch the hem in place. Once your pants are hemmed, the next step is the elastic waist. So you're going to cut your elastic to the size, as the pattern says, for your size that you're making. And then we're going to overlap the elastic by a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to mark a 1/2 inch. And then I'm just going to overlap it. And then you're going to zigzag stitch the elastic together. And I'm going to zigzag stitch on this side, and I'm going to zigzag stitch on this side. All right, once you've sewn the elastic together, we're going to mark 1/4 points on the elastic. So I'm going to use the seam here. So I'm going to fold my elastic at that seam. I'm going to mark 1/4 point on this side. I'm going to bring those two together. So I'm going to mark the 1/4 point on this side, and then I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Okay, so once you've marked the 1/4 points, you're going to slide the elastic inside your pants. You're going to line up the back, the seam with the back seam. You're going to line it up with the side seams and the front seam. Then you're going to stretch to fit the elastic, and you're going to sew it with a zigzag stitch. So I'm going to start at the back, I'm going to stretch to fit, I'm going to sew it into place. Once you've sewn the elastic to the pants, Next, we need to fold the elastic down one time and top stitch along the bottom edge of the elastic. So I like to fold the elastic down, try to make it so that we don't have any extra fabric, and I like to mark my quarter points again. Just making sure I line up those seams on the pants. And I'm going to stretch the fabric again, or not the fabric, the elastic, when I sew this on. So I'm going to stretch the elastic as I sew this on, and I'm going to sew from the inside, and I'm going to sew down here close to the bottom of the inside of the elastic. And I'm going to use a straight stitch, and I'm going to, actually, maybe I'll use a lightning bolt stitch. I'll use a lightning bolt stitch and sew this elastic down to the pants. All right, and as soon as you finish top stitching that elastic down, your wide leg pants are all finished. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.